Qigong, Neigong, Neidan, Dandao. What do all these terms mean? I'd like to do two things in this video. I'd like to give a brief summary of the difference between what these terms generally refer to, the best I can at that, and then I'd like to have a little discussion about how actually it's not so clear. There's a lot of gray areas and overlap, and really it depends on context in the end. So generally speaking, we can take Qigong and Neigong and put them on one side because they're basically synonyms, and Neidan and Dandao on the other side because they're also basically synonyms. Qigong and Neigong are basically just energetic work. They refer to opening the energy channels of the body, developing the energy centers, and they use what we would call post-heaven qi, which is the qi that we get from the food that we eat and the air that we breathe. Post-heaven qi and Qigong and Neigong are great for developing excellent health, longevity, and in certain rare cases, maybe some sorts of special abilities at the highest levels of practice. And then we have Neidan and Dandao. Neidan means something like inner elixir or inner alchemy. Dandao means something like the way of the elixir. These are generally deeper modes of practice that can be described as something like spiritual cultivation. We distinguish them by the fact that they aim to work with pre-heaven qi as opposed to post-heaven qi. Pre-heaven qi means a number of different things in different contexts, but it can refer to our allotment of qi that comes from our parents, so prenatal qi in that sense. It can refer to the qi in the environment, in nature around us, or it can refer to something that's closer to the source of existence, the Tao. And in that sense, it's something that's more rarefied and close to the substratum of reality. Now, to work with pre-heaven qi, we have to be able to access a pre-heaven state. In order to do that, you have to be able to access, the state of existence that is prior to normal 3D space-time reality. So in other words, this is usually going to involve deep states of meditation that in which we can let go of the senses, let go of the mind, let go of everything, and just retreat inwards and just experience that base state of raw consciousness that is kind of prior to manifest reality. And practically speaking, you're really only going to be able to touch that in longer sessions of seated meditation in a state of what's called Wu Wei. All the stuff that involves intention and action and essentially doing things, that creates post-heaven qi. You need to be able to be completely inactive and just still to access pre-heaven qi. So Neidan and Dandao generally involve a lot of deep meditation practice. So generally speaking, Neigong, Qigong, post-heaven qi, energetic work, great health, longevity, maybe some special abilities if you're cultivating to a really high level. Neidan, Dandao, meditation, spiritual cultivation, a tool for spiritual cultivation. So now that I've said all that, the truth is that it's not so clear-cut. There's lots of overlap, they're very broad terms, and it really depends on context. Languages use the terms differently, and at different points in history the terms have different meanings. So I think anyone that's just making like this really clear-cut, simple definition of any of these terms is not taking into account all the other contexts in which they can mean something else. Just to give some examples, Neigong is very broad, meaning like inner skill or inner work. Technically, you can say that Neidan is like a practice within Neigong. It's a type of Neigong. That's not really wrong to say that, it's just I've never really seen it used that way. Just not technically wrong. Especially in the Western circles these days, there's becoming an increasing distinction between Neigong and Qigong. So where Neigong is defined as this sort of like more serious, more legit, more exclusive type of Qigong, and Qigong is more of like the watered down mainstream stuff. I haven't seen any Chinese practitioners ever refer to that, ever make that distinction in any way, but that's increasingly becoming defined by more and more people and more prominent figures in the Western internal arts scene. Another example is that in some Chinese Neidan groups, you might see them use terms sometimes like Neidan Yangsheng Gong. So Neidan and Yangsheng here are combined. Yangsheng being nourishing life that can refer to all sorts of things that could be more like Qigong or just health practices. And now that's getting combined with Neidan into a single term, meaning something like, grouping all these things in together with Neidan that are supportive of a healthy lifestyle, and perhaps supportive of accumulating more Jing essence in the body, supporting the kidneys and things that certain Neidan groups view as important for cultivation. So it's really not so simple in the end.